You have been asking for this video for a few years now, I think. I've attempted it a couple of times, but for various reasons it never got uploaded or it didn't turn out very well. So I hope you enjoy. I have really let my toenails get long for you. I hope you can appreciate. For me, these are kind of like dragon claws. I usually keep them very short. But you've asked how I clip my toenails, and so that's what I'm going to show you today. I went ahead, we are at the beach right now. We are spending Christmas in Orange Beach, Alabama, and it's our first Christmas anywhere other than with family. And so I took the liberty today when we were on the beach to go ahead and exfoliate. And so this is an exfoliated foot. I took the sand, the wet sand, and just rubbed it all over. You could do that with sugar or salt and either probably like some olive oil so that it didn't dissolve if it were in water. But you can exfoliate with whatever you have on hand and get around the cuticles really good. And then wash it all off and then dry your feet. You want a dry foot because you don't want anything slippery. So don't lotion your feet, oil your feet. Don't have wet hands because you want to be able to grip your toenail clippers easily. This is what I'm using today. I like these. They're a regular toenail clipper, but they have this like grippy feature on the top. So that's what I'm gonna use. Just flip it around, and I usually just start with my big toe. So here we go. Get all this long toenail off for you. We'll see if it comes off. It's not going to come off in one. Sometimes I play a game where I see if I can get it off in just one little piece. And then I've got these little ends here. I'll show you what I do with them in a minute. First, I'm just gonna do this part. Then I go to the next toe. So you'll see I do a few cuts on each one and as I go around. So I don't cut it flat. I do cut it slightly rounded. A lot of people tell you not to do that, but for me, that's what I do. And you wanted to know what I do. So that's what we're doing today. It does not take very long. There. One more. There we go. Look at all those gross toenails. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna push those to the side. So usually I have an emery board, but today I don't. I didn't bring one for the vacation, but my husband said I could use this as this is a little travel set, and he said I could use this file. So what I really wanted to show you is on this next part is when you go back to get those rough edges. A long time ago I heard that you go only in one direction, so you don't file back and forth. You stick to one direction that you're going to file to. So here's how I do it. I go. It's easier with an emery board than a file, but so I'm going to my left. Go to the left until it's as smooth as I decide I want to do it. If you are ever in need, like if you get a little jag in your fingernail, probably less likely on a toenail. A couple of tricks I found when you don't have a clipper or an emery board or something with you to take that edge off and you don't want it to catch on anything is you can either, if you're near like a sidewalk, you can, on the concrete, you can do the same thing. You don't go back and forth, but you just go in that one direction on the concrete. Now that will take it off really fast. So be careful how many times you do it. You don't want to take a lot of nail off with that. But also if you're wearing blue jeans, the blue jean fabric is heavy enough and I guess has enough, just a little bit of texture to it. You can do it, kind of smooth it on your blue jeans, doing it that same way. And that has been very helpful to me over the years. So if you ever find yourself in need, you might try one of those two options. Okay, so here we have it. my toenails. Nothing on them. Put that back. Give me a second. I'm just going to clean this up. Makes the video longer. Get all the toenail off. Okay. And then today I have, it says goat milk and oat. This is Crabtree and Evelyn lotion. I found it a while back. I think it was at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take off my ring. And smooth it on there. And I go all the way around, in between my toes, and down around. Hold on, there's a helicopter coming by. I'll tell you what I'm going to say in just a second. So, a lot of you too had asked what I had figured out that was causing, and I'll show you because I have a toe doing it again. This. You see this ridge? Happened again. And it really is partly from my socks. So a lot of times I wear socks to bed, and but it's not just from having too tight of socks. It is because of how I move during the night. So a lot of times I will have like one leg bent out to the side when I sleep, and then when I reposition, so I'll turn on my side and I'll lengthen that leg down, and as I lengthen that leg down, watch what happens if you can imagine a sock on here. As I go down, 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 that sock around my toes gets tighter, 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 right? Until finally that leg is straight and I bend the other one because I switch sides. Well, if you do that 10 times a night, this gets really tight. And so that is one of the biggest problems I run into. It is hard for me to change that sleep habit, and I really like my socks, and even when I wear big socks, it'll still happen sometimes, and as you can see, I'm working this one out again. But again, just to remind you, all you really have to do to start is pushing on the nail. And I think on my first video I talked about getting back behind the cuticle. That is what I did that very first time. But you really don't have to do that. Even if you don't feel where that ridge is, just assume that it's there somewhere. And if this were the toe it happened to, I would just start pushing. I wouldn't go digging behind it anymore. I'd just push, just like this. And do that in the morning, maybe before bedtime. Do it in all the edges, so make sure you get those outer edges too. Do that, 7, 8, 10 times, something like that, and then go on about your day. But just keep doing it. That's the key, is consistency. And then eventually you will see, if this is your issue, you will see that you get this little ridge. And it may be really thick and built up depending on how long you've had this issue, or it may be just, a real thin layer like this one, but you can still tell it's there. You can tell the ridge is there, and then you can tell the color is different there where that thicker layer is growing out. So I just want to tell you to be consistent in that, and it will keep growing. For me, it really does take continued pushing to get that nail to grow further out. I don't know why, but sounds like for some of you, you don't need that. So, but that's how I do it. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, as you look forward to 2024. I might try and find some of these things and put in the description if you want, but I keep it pretty simple. I do have some toe socks that I'm super excited about. My husband got me. They're not regular toe socks. They don't have the little caps on the toes, but they just have the spacers, you know. So I'm gonna go put those on because my toes can use a little love that way too. They're kind of scrunched. But that is all. Merry Christmas.